Welcome back to the podcast. This is Matt from Eagle AI Agency. If you've been following along, we've been interviewing CEOs, business owners, solopreneurs, and really just talking through how AI has made an impact, right? And understanding really how people have built their businesses and their background too as well, which has been a whole lot of fun in the coaching space. A lot of people have such a great passion to help people. So we have Donna on the call. Donna, if you can, go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce your business, and we'll jump right into the questions.
Sure. I'm Donna Ricardo, and my business is called Red Stiletto, Get to the Point. And I'm a speaker trainer, and speaker coach, and a best-selling author on public speaking.
Oh, that's amazing. What's the name of the book?
Public speaking for entrepreneurs: how to show up, speak up, get what you want for your business and your life.
Oh, that's amazing. That is awesome. So to go into it a little bit, so what were you doing before you started your business, right? And then what made you want to start a business in the first place?
Well, I just always have felt that I was an entrepreneur, and in my former career, it was really two things. One, I was a hairdresser in high-end hair salons, and I became a trainer, worked through my fear of public speaking, became a trainer, training other hairdressers at first. And then that led to personal development, and I left the beauty world and went to work at a personal development company, became a trainer for them as well. So fast forward, I kind of worked with some other entrepreneurs, helping them with their business, and then flip flop between those other two things. And finally, I said, it's time for me to do my own thing. And so I always felt as a hairdresser that I was an entrepreneur. What I didn't realize was that I was actually a subcontractor because I
There
never
you
had
go.
my own salon or my own chair, and I never had to find my own clients. And now, when I started Red Stiletto, I had to do all of it, including the
Yeah.
branding, all of it. So that's how I
Yeah.
got here.
Oh, that's amazing. And as you started your business, right? First, before we go into that, what demographic do you typically target as
Well,
your
I have
niche?
tons of different people, but my ideal client is a woman entrepreneur new to speaking.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so when you first started, you talked about a little bit some of the things that you had to do yourself. What have you found is one of the hardest things to do when you first get started in a business?
Finding clients,
Mhm.
generating leads.
Yeah. So what are some ways that you found to solve that, or maybe some hiccups you're still going through right now, just for relatability? And
Yeah,
what are some like solutions moving forward that you have? I know you're in a program right now, but maybe you can talk a
yeah,
little bit about that too.
sure. I say the best and fastest way to attract clients is by speaking. And so I find that to be true. I have a monthly webinar, and then I also in these speaking opportunities, I can make an offer for people to usually to connect with me, but to speak to a group of my ideal clients, which would be really other entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, like women's networking group, women's groups, and then the webinar. So it's opportunities to speak where I can make that offer, and those people that accept it become my leads and ultimately my clients,
Yeah,
hopefully.
absolutely. That's amazing. And so, when it comes to like pipelining and pipelining tools, what strategies do you use? I know the webinar. Do you have anything on the back end where you're setting up your CRM, you're managing those follow-ups, engagement, that kind of stuff? What have you found to be the most successful for you now?
Well, I have Go High Level as my
Mhm.
CRM, and I can do most of that in there. And I do it really, like all right now myself, just, one to one to one as I go along. It's not like there are floods of people coming in because I don't do big launches. So
Mm,
I don't have a big flood of people coming in.
yeah. Do you do that on purpose? I know a lot of people do those big launches and they just don't attract the right ICP. Is there a reason why you haven't done a big launch, or is it just more strategic from your point of view?
Well, I've tried it a couple times several years ago, and I didn't have anybody really helping me. I learned what to do, but it didn't go well. I didn't gain any business from it. And also then over time, since then I realized that that's not how I want to do things. Usually the people that I've met, they do these, big master classes, usually 3 days, and they do these big launches, or they're doing, these big programs, master classes kind of thing, a couple of days, making those high ticket offers. And I decided I really don't want to be doing that. One, I'm not very good at it. Two,
Mm,
and I don't want to be doing that a couple times a year. I'd rather have people coming in a little bit all the time. So I developed my program to allow just exactly for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it builds like an organic presence too. And have you found it to be a little bit more genuine too in the conversations and those kind of things too as well?
Yeah, because then I can
Mhm.
say, come on in, you can jump in now
Right.
instead of like, well, you gotta wait, you gotta go to this 3-day thing and then we'll make you an offer and then it's not gonna start for 4 more months and well, it's not usually that long, but usually it can be several months from the initial conversation to the invitation to the actual starting of the programs.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, as what's the vision of the business? Like, what's the long term vision that you have currently for where you're at, where you want to be?
I think speaking, of course, continuing to speak and also, making those offers and building the program. I just redesigned the whole thing, so I'm going to launch it in August this year.
Nice. Yeah.
So having that, building that into where it's flowing along, and then maybe moving into doing keynotes. Because right now, the kind of speaking I do is what you call speak to sell, meaning I'm making that
Mhm.
offer and then moving into keynotes and talking about something else altogether. Right now, I speak about speaking because that's my
Yeah.
business, but maybe ultimately having my program, and then speaking on keynotes.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is awesome. Eventually, you'd be a keynote speaker in places, and that's how you get pipeline as well too. I'm guessing like long term engagements, that kind of stuff.
Could be. That wouldn't be really the purpose of it, but absolutely that could happen. Depends on what I'm speaking about, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of good friends who are in the keynote speaking space, and that's typically how they're building their pipeline is they do a talk and then someone's impressed and then they come up, share a card, and that's how they're getting clients now, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you
a way
can,
to do it.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that is certainly a way to do it. You're kind of fading out a little, but that is certainly a way to do it.
Got it. Awesome. And talking about AI, I know we've had a discussion beforehand, but how do you think AI has been making an impact on your business, the industry, maybe even the speaking industry, like how people actually approach coaching, speaking, building businesses, those kind of things?
Well, I think there's probably a certain amount of AI out there that supports people in, really one of the questions you asked in the beginning, that to the follow up and, the rotation of the communications with potential clients and even current clients and just having that all automated. That's one way. And I think also helping them develop their speaking,
Mm,
their actual talks.
yeah, that's amazing.
Develop, not write it for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ideas, right? Cooking ideas, do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That's awesome. And do you see yourself ever using AI in the first place? What's your perspective on AI? Do you think it's a good thing, it's a bad thing for the industry? Like, where's your head at when it comes to that?
Well, I know there's a lot of chatter about it right now,
Mhm.
but I
Yeah.
think it has its place, and I think
Mm,
that people need to look for themselves and see, what's missing in their business and what might they use it for. And like right now, I do use it for, in combination with talking to a coach friend that I know and ChatGPT. Between those two, I developed my program into something that's really solid, something I'm really happy with and confident about. It's way better than what I had before, and it
yeah,
started with what I had before, and I used the ChatGPT in this case to do that.
yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. So any final thoughts? Obviously pretty direct conversation. I loved it. I mean, you've added so much value, but anything else you wanted to add on just how people should be viewing AI? What kind of perspective do you think? What kind of confidence should they come into it? That kind of stuff too as well. And then we'll kind of wrap up with how can people find you?
Yeah, I think that the best thing is, for people to really, like anything else, do the research. Maybe talk to people who are in their industry, in their space. Find out how they're using it and experiment with some things.
Mhm.
With some things before you, like go like hog wild into
Yeah.
into a whole big thing. You find out how it
Mhm.
would be supportive.
Yeah, absolutely. And how can people find you? Obviously, with your book, that's amazing. But if someone's
I,
interested in keynote speaking and just overall leadership speaking, like how can someone connect with you?
Let's see. I'm not sure what I've already given you, but I have my calendar link if they want to connect directly, or if they would like to get some hot speaking tips that are not your ordinary speaking tips. Really, things that I've gathered from seeing really, really experienced great speakers do that I went, wow, they just lost their audience. Oh, that didn't
And
work. Oh, that put me off. And I
yeah.
just gather, and they will make any level of speaker be very professional, even a new one, if
Mm,
they use these. So
yeah.
I have that
Amazing.
as well.
What's your website so people can jump in on the website
Yeah,
too?
for that, it's and I would say do put the HTTPS. It's showupspeakup.com.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much for jumping on and sharing your thoughts. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.